Lord up in here. Let's give God some praise. Be about my Father's business is another translation. He says, do you not know that I must be in my Father's house? Jesus seems to imply that he is already in the presence of his Father. How can Mary and Joseph be looking for their son? And Jesus says, I am already in the house with my Father. I want to arrest your attention for a moment, ask and speak to you on behalf of God to say how to handle an identity crisis. You need to go somewhere else. I'm trying to get what I need from the Lord. Somebody here is coming for a miracle. Somebody is here is coming for a breakthrough. Somebody is here is coming for deliverance. And if you're not here to help me, then you ought to go somewhere else. Somebody ought to say, I need to get myself together. You must be careful of how you are portrayed around others. Because God can be using you as an instrument to bring someone else closer to him. It seems that we tend to forget that this root word of Christian is Christ, which means questioning our very existence. We go through life questioning God about the meaning and purpose that he has for our life. And it's a shame because most of people die without ever fulfilling the assignment that God has placed on their life. And one of the main reasons why they go through never accomplishing anything in their life is because they never took the time out to develop their own personal relationship with God. And when you have a relationship with God, it is in those intimate moments where you hear his pavilion. In the secret of his tabernacle shall he hide me, and he shall set me up upon a rock. In the midst of it all, somebody has a testimony that I sought the Lord. He heard me, and he delivered me out of all my fears. All right, if you can't agree with that, somebody can say this. In the midst of it all, if it had not been. I wish I had a prayer in church this morning. I said, if it had not been for the Lord who was on my side. Jesus, from a medical perspective. In chapter 4, Jesus healed a multitude. In chapter 5, Jesus healed infirmities. In chapter 6, Jesus healed a withered hand. In chapter 7, Jesus healed a centurion servant. In chapter 8, Jesus healed a woman. In chapter 9, Jesus casted out an unclean spirit. In chapter 13, Jesus healed a woman on the Sabbath day. In chapter 14, Jesus healed a man of dropsy. In chapter 17, Jesus healed 10 men of leprosy. And in chapter 18, Jesus opened saw blinded eyes. And he lived a life for a spear to be put in his side. And I thank God that he lived for a crown of thorns to be placed upon his head. I thank God that he lived to suffer on the cross until the 9th hour. And I thank God that he lived to die in the locks of his shoulder.
I'm going to do something to just wind down. I won't be long. Just wind down. If you made it, then that means you're still here. Am I right? Amen. Because I'm still here. Just want to sing 2 verses, that's all. Listen, I might be singing it for you. Trials, I've had my share of trials, but I'm still here. Anybody happy to be here? Some of y'all looking real mean at me. I don't think you're happy. Disappointment, I've had my share of disappointment, y'all, but I'm still here. Everybody pray for it. Come on down, bro. Oh, listen. Lonely nights, I've had my share of lonely nights, but I'm still here. Go to the chorus, sing with me, you know, do it all. Another day journey, God kept me here, and I'm happy about it. Through it all, I made it. I don't know know what living rooms are like today, but when I was a little boy, living rooms were not where kids should really go and hang out. Some living rooms, that's where the carpet was shampooed. That's where the cover was on the couch. Baby, you didn't go in the living room. That was for mama and daddy's company. Got no business in the living room. You play down in your room, go down in the basement. But I mean outside. but mama and daddy tough were gone. Didn't catch. What happened was, when it was my turn to catch, I missed it. And it hit the pitcher thing, and the pitcher failed. But thank God the pitcher didn't break. Wayne did that for me so I would not have to deal with the wrath of punishment that was coming my way. Now Wayne took on what should have been mine, and he got whipped. Not only he got whipped, I don't mean to throw my mother under the bus, but Wayne got beat. It's about my big brother. Taking a beating. Yeah, I had a hang up, but he was willing to be hung for my hang-ups. Not only took a whipping, he died. He gave his life. Jesus didn't just get whipped. See, Wayne got whipped with a book, but Jesus got whipped all kind of ways, with piercings in his side. Jesus got whipped with nails in his hand. Jesus got his beard pulled out. Jesus got whooped for nothing. He was hung out. He exterminates. I've got enemies. He eliminates. I've got haters that he may celebrate. I've got fears he may vacate. When in darkness he illuminates. Before I call him, he anticipates. When I do good, he congratulates. When I do his will, he appreciates. When I need medicine, he medicates. I came to tell you, he was hung up from my hang-ups. He was hung up from my hang-ups. He was hung up from my hang-ups. My brother couldn't be hung up. It was nobody but Jesus. Do you know Jesus? Do you know Jesus? Jesus. Jesus. Jesus hung up for my hang-ups.
And he ain't got no business messing with one of God's people. You ought to look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, the devil ain't got no business with messing with me. I'm a spiritual warrior. I'm battle ready. I go into the fight expecting to have the victory. I go into the fight expecting to win. The devil don't want to mess with me. They did not realize by putting these men on the cross next to Jesus that they gave them an opportunity to be in the presence of the Lord. They gave them an opportunity to be in the presence of Jesus. And I want to talk to some folk here who know about his presence. Folk who came to church because you wanted to get in the presence of the Lord. You didn't come to be seen by folk. You didn't come to see who had the nice hoop. You didn't come to see who had on a new dress. You came because you wanted to be in his presence. And why do I want to be in his presence? Because in his presence is fullness of joy. I want to be in his presence because in his presence are pleasures for forevermore. I just want to be in his presence. Why do I want to be in his presence? Because things begin to happen. I want to be in his presence because a shift happens in my life. I want to be in his presence because sickness is replaced in healing. I want to be in his presence because the demons and devils that have been on my back have to leave me alone and flee. I just want to be in his presence. The verse, don't you fear God. He says this man Jesus has done nothing wrong. He says in essence, I know who that is. I know who he is. That's Jesus. That's Jesus who fed 5,000. That's Jesus who raised Lazarus from the dead. That's Jesus who turned water into wine. I know who he is. I know Jesus. And is there anybody in here who can say, I came to church on Good Friday because I know Jesus? I know Jesus. He's water when I'm thirsty. I know Jesus. He's bread when I'm hungry. I know Jesus. He's a rock in a weary land. I know Jesus. He's a bridge over troubled water. I know Jesus. But I made it. Yes, I got put out and thrown out. Yes, I was expelled. Yes, I almost lost my mind. But I made it. I made it in spite of it all. And it was only because of Jesus. He's the reason I can say I'm still standing. He's the reason I can say I'm still alive. And I wish I had somebody that would get on your feet for a right now blessing that God's about to do for you right now. I need you to give him a right now praise. I need you to give him a right now hallelujah. You know, say singing, I stretch my hands to keep on what the help I know. That is now withdrawing. Whether shall I go? I got to go to my seat. But you are the hold. You are the hold to God's unchanging hand. Yeah. I'm holding in spite of trouble. I'm holding in spite of pain. I'm holding in spite of attacks. I'm holding.
I know what he means to me, so I don't have to prove a point. I just thank him for being who he is. Luke chapter 17.
As he speaks, it's got to accomplish what he set it out to do. So they began to cry out, Jesus, Master, have mercy on us. Jesus, Master, have mercy on us. Now that may not mean much to you, but sometimes that's all the time you have to say a prayer. I know sometimes we come up with the long ritual of prayer this evening. My Heavenly Father, here it is. Another one of your handmaid servants. Knee bent, body bowed. Didn't come for no shape, form, or fashion. Or no. In 3 days. Just somebody say, in 3 days. We got up out of the grave. Anybody know he got all power? Touch your name and say, he got all power. To make you walk right. To make you talk right.